Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 6 of Civilization 5. We're trying to win on Emperor for the first time and playing as Portugal. I did build another settler which I was sending off in this direction because I wanted to go and sort of forward settle Egypt quite aggressively in an attempt to have a sort of forward base of operations to attack them from, because Ramses is just way out in front at the moment. However, I don't really think that's practical. It's going to be a really crap city even if I do manage to get my settler there. What I have found down here is a nice little area nestled between these mountains that would give me access to a decent amount of food, some iron, 2 sources of wine, and more importantly we would be next to mountains, which would allow me to build an observatory, which is something that we so far cannot. We could also go ahead and buy this stone as well. That will annoy Pakal a little bit, but tough. So we've got that going for us. The only problem is settling here, I wouldn't be able to actually connect it via roads to my main city, and also it's not coastal. So what I might have to do is settle another city down here somewhere, connect them up with a road, and then we can have a harbour to get everything connected up. That would have access to wheat, it would have access to horses and cocoa, so not a terrible city. We could even get another one down here, potentially on the river. And we may take out Songhai. We may try and totally take over this little corner of the world and just go really wide. We certainly don't have the power at the moment to catch up with Ramses, and he's building all of the wonders much more quickly than I ever could hope to. So, yeah, we won't spy on Ramses anymore. It's a little bit of a shame. He's probably quite well ahead of us in tech. Not sure who we're going to spy on now. Ah, found them. Okay, they're the guys that were down here. Yes, they are. Okay, that's fine. Because that's what you guys were going south for. You can probably continue to do that, actually. Right, we've got that connected up now. We're still running very, very short on things for our workers to do. I guess we'll just do more farms until we have something better for them. It's not like the farms actually cost us any money. So we're going to go over here and we are going to settle our city. And that means we can instantly take a shot at the camp. The camp gets wiped out instantly, by the way, because you can't have a camp within your own borders. So it was a good way of getting rid of the camp. We could potentially even think about settling another city over here as well. It would give us access to gems. And we could even go here. That'd be an excellent tile. We won't be able to have a windmill because it's on a hill. But we'd have access to the wheat. We'd have access to the gems. Don't think Palenque is going to expand quite that far, although there's always the possibility that it does. Production, I think we need to go ahead and get a granary here as quickly as we can. A few things that I would like to do, just to make sure we really annoy Pakal, is to just make sure that we get that stone tile. Anything else we should just expand to automatically and he shouldn't be able to get. He's going to be a little bit upset by it. I don't blame him. But he's just going to have to, you know, make his peace with it because it's happened now. He can't really complain. I mean, he's like forward settled a city right up here, although technically it's quite close to Korea, actually. Certainly it's within 4 hexes of Korea's borders, although I suspect that this expanded here before Korea got there. Let's keep going around and having a look up here. Found another Korean city. Production in Braga, what did you build? You built the lighthouse, which is quite good. We are going to need a lot of money, but let's go ahead and get the workshop first, because the more production means we can build those money buildings more quickly. Not an awful lot that you can build. I suppose we should go ahead and get the Artists Guild while we can. Nowhere else you can go from there. Yes, we know about you guys. Let's try and wipe you out. And we did quite nicely. You guys can just heal up. Now, one thing we will need over here is a worker. I'm sorry if you can hear what sounds like an earthquake. It's just actually a truck driving down the street at the side of me. That was really loud. Okay, so let us go. And I'm probably just wasting a lot of money here on things that I could just be building, but we will get this money back. If you watch my last game as Venice, I mean, admittedly, it was Venice, and I was only playing on King, but I had one city, and finished the game with 40,000 gold. And I was spending it quite frivolously as well. Wow, what is that noise? so loud. It sounds like it's in the room. Oh, apologies for that if you can actually hear it on the recording. Yeah, look at this. This is not good. I have the least social policies. Wow, that means my culture's output is really, really low. We do need to get as much culture going as possible. Let's continue going to Gao for as long as we can do before we decide to wipe them out, which we will do. Worker. Firstly, food. Still in positive happiness, only just. Let's go on to the next turn. There wasn't a lot we could do there. We met Vancouver. Good stuff. That is going to be Askia's borders. It is quite strange, actually. This, let me just double check. Yeah, it is a fractal map. It's a fractal map, yet it does seem to be mostly one big continent, which is quite weird. Declaration of friendship with Portugal. I'm going to say yes to that. One, because I'd really like a research agreement, although he has come to me now that I've actually spent all my money and can't afford to do so. But that's probably more likely for me to get him to declare war against Egypt. Can't move that way now because I'm being blocked. Farm. So, out of interest, would you, now that we're buddies, old buddy, old pal, old chum, would you be willing to declare war on the Great Ramses II? Yes, you would, for a stupid amount of stuff. No. You guys have got that connected. Anything else useful? I guess not. It's just a lot of farms. Wow. Yeah, I'm not particularly impressed with this start. I don't think we had a particularly good starting location, to be honest. You guys can just heal up in there. I know it sounds like I'm just making an excuse, and I probably am a little bit. At least, obviously, if we hit with this city, we could build a caravan and trade with Palenque, so that would help. But yeah, I just don't think we started in the best of locations. Saying that, I don't think Portugal is one of the strongest civilizations anyway in this game. I would really like to get that iron. I mean, the only person that's likely to get anywhere near it is Gao, and we're just going to destroy them anyway. We've got a replacement spy. Who are we going to go and spy on? I did try and spy on Polynesia before. However, we couldn't steal any tech from them, so it's probably not worth that. This is why I want to find out who this unmet player is. Probably not an awful lot of point spying on Egypt. I've already promised not to, so spying on him could be quite risky. Let's try spying on Korea, although I don't even think I have their capital. Okay, let's try and get somebody on board. Let's try and get the city-states closest to Egypt on board. So if there ever does end up being a war, we've got more of a chance of being able to do something useful about it. I'm sure we won't have too much of a problem with these city-states because I intend for this little portion of the mini-map to be one big massive blue and white blob. So we're going to try and take over as much of the space here as we can. If I have to take out Songhai, I probably will. They are the lowest common denominator here. Taking them out shouldn't be too difficult. I'm not going to be able to get too far up here because it looks like they've got a lot of the area blocked off. I'd love to know where that last civilization is. Workshop has been finished here. Trireme's not going to be too useful. We really need to get something that we can get out onto the water and have a good good explore around with. We need culture buildings. We are very, very behind on culture right now. So let's keep having a look down here. We are going to settle another city down there on that south coast. I have decided. And so possibly even another city over on this coast. And then possibly something here in the middle on the river to take advantage of these bananas. We'll have to see. It depends how much happiness I can squeeze out of this game, to be honest. So unit needs orders. You are kind... Oh no, you can get through that way just about, though you're blocked by a mountain, so that didn't help much. We can go around the outside via the tundra, which is quite nice. Absolutely no idea who that last civ is or where they are. Unless they're down here somewhere in this bottom corner. You would have thought that Polynesia would have run into them by now. I mean, Polynesia with their, you know, seafaring abilities must have bumped into them. I can't believe that they wouldn't be. Yet. Oh, hang on. Nope, it's still not in the list. I think it might be something that they changed in the patch so that you can no longer see civilization. Or is it civilizations they haven't met? Because if we actually tell them to declare war... Well, no, they've got Songhai, but there's only... Yeah, there's 5. Obviously, the one that we haven't found is missing, which would make 6. Myself makes 7, and Polynesia makes 8. So we can actually see every other leader that we've met, apart from... and we can't see the one that we haven't. So maybe they're just hidden really well. They must be pretty big, though. I mean, they're the second highest in score. So they must have a... It could be Venice, actually. Could be Venice just going super tall, but I don't know. We can get a university. Let's start getting them. We need that science. You guys might as well continue south. There's a bit of area that we haven't explored. Met Florence now as well. Could also possibly be that there's somebody down here we haven't met, although most of the city-states tend to be on the coast, so I don't think that is going to be the case. Oh, look at that. We've found some barbarians. So we might as well try and take that camp out if we can. We won't get any XP because this unit's already capped from its barbarian XP, but if we can kill some units, clear a camp, another 25 gold, it will all add up. Explores a little bit more of the map for us. Do we carry on getting open borders from Portugal? I think we do, because we are going to need to get a worker around there to work that tile on the new city that we built at some point. A little bit worried that these barbarian horsemen may come out to try and attack me. They haven't, though, so we'll just take a punt at them from a distance. We can have another policy now, which is good. Still can't get rationalism yet. Do we take the happiness? We've already got a decent amount of happiness. Let's take the extra production. That's going to help quite nicely. Let's just cut through here. See what we can find. We're running out of places to explore. We've got that farm. Let's go ahead now and go and get the wine connected. Do we have wine at the moment, actually? No, we don't. So that's actually a unique luxury. So that will give us a little bit more happiness. And we'll actually have 2 sources of wine. So we'll have one to trade as well. So that's all good. Like I said, as soon as I can have a 4th trade route, I'll probably build a caravan. I don't normally bother with caravans because cargo ships tend to be better, but having the ability to trade with another civilization would be useful because it takes advantage of our unique ability as Portugal. Cumbria has grown already. Coimbra? Coimbra. Not too sure how it's pronounced. My pronunciation of foreign places is generally terrible, except this. Let's go ahead and have another farm. I definitely think we are going to have to take Askia out. Do we know what he has in terms of units? Soldiers. Yeah, whoever it is we haven't met is top. Oh, we're actually bottom. Wow. We are definitely need to get some aggressive units out. We can try and take out Gao. It's going to be a little bit difficult because we'd have to cross a river to do it. He's got a fair bit of protection, but I think we could get him if we needed to. Let's continue to try and wipe out this camp if we can. Might be a little bit of a waste of time, but we'll see what happens. That trading post has finished. Just trading posts everywhere, I guess. Not an awful lot else for you to do. 1, 2, 3. Why aren't we expanding towards this sugar? Because you're expanding towards the bananas, which are 1, 2, 3. Okay, technically they are workable. I'll let you off then, but still. Wow, just keep going fast. We're going to need harbours as soon as possible as well, just for the additional money. So, after physics, we will definitely go into compass. And then, are we going to try and get into scientific theory? I'm going to go into banking after that, I would expect. Try and get some decent money making going. You guys, probably at the bottom of the continent by now. But we'll have a look around anyway. Absolutely no point trying to take out Songhai until we have trebuchets at the very least. Not necessarily sure that I want to take their city though. I certainly won't take it unless I have to. They only have the one city, but it does give me a trading partner. If we get rid of that, we're kind of sort of shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit. Porto, go ahead and get that university. Let's get as much science output as possible and try and catch up with things a little bit. Oh, that was a very good shot. Trading posts, because that's what we do. Yeah, I think we're quite behind on the tech tree, and I'd like to take advantage of, not necessarily my unique unit, but at the very least take advantage of my unique building. New unit from Mbanza Congo, very nice. What have you given us? Pikeman, quite nice actually. What I'm going to do is move this pikeman. No, we'll leave you here for now. I was going to say we'll use this pikeman to... Oh, not what I wanted. We'll use this pikeman to defend against Songhai, but I think we're alright for the time being. I accidentally moved these workers because I had the wrong unit selected. I hate that when you actually click the pop-up. City-State of Mbanza Congo has given you a new unit. You click the button, and it shows you the tile, but it doesn't select the unit, and I accidentally moved the worker because that was who I had selected. So, oh well. One of those things. I like that. It should have took me 2 turns to get there, but also they've got the promotion. That's how they managed to do it. They've got the altitude training. That is fine. Still won't quite clear this. Wonder if we can take it out before it spawns another unit. So confused as to where that 8th AI is. I didn't even know that Korea and Assyria were at war. You want a research agreement? I will accept that. I need all the science I can get. I'm actually going to go and have a word with Portugal in a moment now. I forgot that it's actually quite cheap this early stage in the game. And getting some research agreements is certainly going to help. Oh, would you look at that? It spawned another unit. So let's go ahead and move up onto this hill. And take a few shots. Don't want to lose these guys because they're, they're a highly promoted scout, of course. Choose production. What are we going to do here? I guess stable would be good, actually. Stable would be really good for you. This cattle apparently hasn't been improved. We must have stopped halfway through the improvement, so we need to get that improved or repaired. We'll continue to have a look around in this direction. We've pretty much uncovered as much of this island as we can do. Portugal, we were going to talk to you about the possibility of a research agreement. Oh, we don't have an embassy. Yeah, go on then. I suppose. Brilliant. Okay, so now we've got another research agreement. That is good for us. We have a Coco Chanel. We have a great merchant. Where are we sending you? We already have Mbanza Congo. Do we send you up here? Vilnius, what do you have? You have gems. It is actually a mercantile, gems and porcelain. Do we have the porcelain already? No, we don't. Might be worth actually doing it. Or do we build a customs house? Probably not. We're going to get a lot of money anyway as Portugal. So I think we're just going to use him, go and pop him in Vilnius' territory. That'll get them to be our ally. And give us a lot of money. And if I do want to go pretty wide, I am going to need as many luxury resources as you can. I guess that is a good thing with Portugal. Think about it. Historically, Portuguese are colonists. So the ability to grow wide is something that's built into their civilization in this game. And the fact that you can build your unique building, you want to pay me for sugar, that's fine. The fact that you can build your unique building in a city-state's lands and automatically receive a copy of any of the luxury resources they have. You want open borders? No. Regardless of your sort of diplomatic status with the city-state, if you've got that luxury build, that unique building, unique improvement built in their territory, you do get a copy of all their luxury resources. So that really helps growing wide as Portugal. Unit needing orders. Oh, they've actually lost a worker. Let's move up on to the hill, because we can clear the camp. And, yep, you guys are going to finish that trading post. You guys have finished yeah, that. I guess we could build a mine here, although I'm tempted to go over and get the sheep connected up first. Might leave these guys down here just in case I do send a settler down there. Those guys are getting bombarded. I could finish them off. There's little point in me doing it. I'd sooner just go and clear the camp before it has a chance to respawn. Bagata and Egypt are now allies. That's a little bit of a pain. I won't be able to clear that camp because of zone of control. University has finished here. Caravansary wouldn't hurt. Neither would a temple come to that. You guys are going to have that. Can we get you there into one turn? Oddly enough, we can, because you can make a sort of a roundabout move to do it. Because using the hills, you actually get extra movement. See? That's why it's worth getting that promotion on scouts. It's absolutely amazing. Let's get you guys up here. Yeah, let's go to here. It is another hill, which is a bit of a pain, so it takes that. I should really start getting some workers that promotion. Obviously, it's pointless with this worker because he's so far away. Pakal is plotting against me. Let him try. Not bothered about Pakal. The AI is always plotting against you, just the same as the human player, you're always plotting against the AI. There can only be one winner, unless you're actually playing on a game where you're in teams. You are, you're playing to win. So even if you have a declaration of friendship with somebody, you're still playing to win. Why are you guys getting absolutely picked off one at a time by this guy with a pointy stick? What is wrong with you? You guys go ahead and do that. You guys go ahead and get that finished. Not sure why it wasn't in the first place. You guys come and sit up here on the hill. You got a fairly decent vantage point up there. Can we actually get those workers? No, we can't go all the way around, so we're just going to hit you. Might actually be able to get those workers and have a free worker. We'll give it a go. You guys have finished that. Okay, 1, 2, 3 more farms then. We can always rip the farms up later. It's better than having the workers sitting around doing nothing. You continue to Mbanza Congo. On to the next turn. And this will probably be the last turn before we end the video. Still at 11 happiness. Not too bad now that I've got a 4th city. I think what we might do after the caravansary is actually start work on our next settler. We do have to be careful though, because obviously getting out our national wonders is a little bit more difficult if you go super wide, super quick, because you have to have the prerequisite buildings in all the other cities, which is a little bit of a pain. Yeah, you guys are going to construct that pasture. And in fact, what we would like to do here, if we can just outright purchase it, which we can. Let's get the library. Start to speed things up a little bit here. Oh, free worker. Do I take it or do I return it? I think I'm going to return it. And the reason for that is a little bit of a diplomatic boost, even though he is quite low on score. But it'd just take me so... I can't be bothered to micromanage him all the way down to friendly territory. And to be honest, he'd probably end up getting killed before he got there anyway. And we might need open borders with Assyria in a minute, just so we can head to the west and find out what's over there. Because I would love to know who this unmet player is that we still haven't found. And I'm not sure whether nobody's found them or whether they've just changed it in that patch. Because it used to be a little bit of a cheat, almost, that you could actually see who unmet civilizations were by looking at other people's trade screens. Yep, you've done that already. Not a lot else for you to do now, is there? More farms! Farms everywhere. Yes, great merchants. You're going to have to go around this way. And I keep forgetting and hitting next turn. I will stop doing that eventually. It's just so automatic now. Okay, the end of this turn will definitely be the last one. That's Polynesia entering the Renaissance era. I guess we're not terribly far off. If I'd have gone for acoustics instead of compass, we could have possibly got there, but... Do we need to go banking first, or do we need to go into astronomy? I think we need to go into astronomy, actually. Go ahead and get the observatory. And also, of course, getting the now as well, because although it's not going to be all that useful to us as a combat ship, that one-time ability that it has, Golden XP, we should probably get a couple of them. So let's go ahead and do that. Might also want to go into the machinery to get the ironworks. There's so many different things we could do. Braga, you have finished your stable. Go ahead and get the... Oh! I wasn't expecting that to say next turn. Luckily, it's not too much of a problem. Right, you are going to conduct a trade mission. 30 influence, 500 gold. Thank you very much. They are now our allies. There's the next turn button. I'm not going to click it. So that will be the end of the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you are still enjoying Civilization 5 on Emperor difficulty. And I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.